What's up, everybody? Trayvon here with Scent Talk TV, and today I will be doing a full review on the fragrance from the house of French Avenue. Disclaimer: if my voice is annoying and raspy, it's because I just got over the flu. And I was out of commission from dropping any videos, any short videos for the past 2 to 3 days because I had the flu. And I wouldn't wish that type of pain on my worst enemies. But I'm talking too much. Without further ado, let's just jump into it. If I failed to mention in the intro of the video, I got this fragrance at my local Burlington for the price of $45 and some change. But anyway, from the house of French Avenue, this is Liquid Brun. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. And while we're on the topic of the box, here is the box. It's a pretty looking box. You got the name of the fragrance on this little side right here. It's kind of like glass, like a shiny little plank right here. And you got the name of the fragrance, name of the house at the bottom, nothing on the sides. Right here you got the notes of the fragrance. It's highly reflective, excuse me. And on the back you just got some ingredients and all that fun stuff, holographic sticker, name of the house right there. And at the bottom you got the size and concentration. And right here you got the barcode and some information, QR code, and all that great stuff right there. And at the top of the box you got the name of the house. And this box is somewhat of a fingerprint magnet, judging by the size right here and this part right there. Fingerprint magnet. It's annoying, but when you open it up, it opens up just like this. Beautiful presentation. Okay, here's how the bottle looks. You know, you got the name of the fragrance right here. Underneath that, you got this little sticker right here, and it's reflective at the bottom. You know, you got the name of the house, and I think it's the size and concentration. No, it's just the name of the house. Just the name of the house right here. Then on the back, you got the name of the house right there. Nothing at the top where the cap is. Nothing on the inside of the cap at all. You have the Atomizer. Let's check it out. It's decent. It's pretty good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, what do I get out of this fragrance? This fragrance is absolutely stunning from the top mid to the drag down. This fragrance opens up bright and also warm and spicy at the same time. Sweet and cozy, if you will, with a little bit of like a grassy, sweet resinous and balsamic touch to it through and through throughout the longevity of this fragrance. This, to me, on my skin, is a balsamic bomb. All right, folks, let's get into those notes. Ooh, my voice, Lord. In the top, you got some cinnamon, orange blossom, cardamom, and bergamot. Yes, you do get that like warm, spicy, like sparkly, touch and accord when it comes to that cinnamon. The orange blossom is like a masculine floral that opens up really, really beautifully in this fragrance. It kind of gives it a little bit of a bright, like floral touch as you spray it on your skin throughout the first couple of minutes. And then once you hit that cardamom, you get that sweet resinous, kind of dry, soft spice from that cardamom. And the bergamot is not really too noticeable, but it does give it like a bitterness to it, because that bergamot typically gives it like a bitter, like citrusy touch to fragrances. But in this one, I really don't detect a lot of bergamot. Just a little bit. I mean, it did take a little bit of that bitterness that bergamot gives in fragrances, and it's in here in the opening just a little bit. Mid notes, you get some bourbon vanilla, and you get some elemi. Elemi is it's kind of fresh and warm at the same time, and balsamic at the same time as well. The vanilla is sweet, cozy, and smooth. Now, once you get into the mid notes, everything starts to mesh well with each other very nicely. But once I got to the mid notes on my skin, I really did get a lot of that vanilla and that cinnamon and that cardamom, especially. But when you get to the base notes though, this is when the magic really starts to happen, is once you get into those base notes. You get that praline, ambroxan, that gaiac wood, and that musk. The praline, to me, is one of the main players in this fragrance. Very balsamic, you know, sweet and gourmety when it comes to that praline. That cinnamon, cardamom, and that praline together is beautiful, ladies and gentlemen. But the ambroxan is kind of like an animalic dry accord that I really don't get too much. You know, it kind of makes the fragrance kind of push out a little bit, making it a little bit more somewhat like aromatic and still maintaining that balsamic touch. But when that gaiac wood comes in and that musk, it gets a little bit more masculine and animalic once it comes to that musk. The gaiac wood gives it like a little touch of woodiness, but not too much. When it comes to the base notes, I really don't get a lot of gaiac wood, but I do get that praline, that ambroxan, and that musk. So overall, through and through, you just get this warm, cozy, balsamic bomb, if you will, of praline and a big old dose of vanilla and cinnamon. That is so gorgeous. Very, very gorgeous. And the longevity, I will get to in a minute. The longevity is pretty nice also. Very, very good longevity on this one. But I also want to say this. If you're familiar with the Parfums de Marly, hold on. This one is duping this one from Parfums de Marly. Altair, if I pronounced that right. You know, the only difference between these two, they smell. This one is doing a great job duping this one. The only difference between the two is that this one is more of it has a nutty accord. You know, they share a lot of the same notes, but except for like tonka bean, and I think it's like an almond note that's inside of here. You know, the only thing that's different in the drive down between these two, this one is a little bit more on the rich, like rich and nuttiness, you know, on the rich nutty accord of the spectrum. When it comes to this one is more, you know, in your face when it comes to that spice with the cinnamon and stuff like that as it dries down. You know, it's not really too much of a big difference, slightly, but this one does his thing just like this one does his thing, trying to dupe this one. But you know what I'm trying to say. This is a good dupe of this. But when it comes to the performance between the two of these, I get better performance out of this one than this one, if you guys was wondering. All right, I'm talking too much. Let's get into the performance. The performance on this one was pretty solid, a good 6 to 7 hours, and that's from overspraying. You know, it really did project like, you know, between like an hour and a half. It set close to the skin after that, but it still maintained an average push of projection. You know, it really didn't dissipate. It really didn't, you know, fade away, you know, until like I say like the 5 to 6 hour mark. That's when it starts sitting a lot closer, but it still was noticeable. You can still detect it in the air and with your sillage softly. So this is a solid performer on my skin. I really do love this. I really do glad I found it and picked it up in my local Burlington, because at that point I was like, you know what, the rack stores in my area already showed me all that they had to offer this holiday season, until I walked into one Burlington and saw this one, and I was like, yo, I gotta get that. Even though I really didn't care for it because I already have the Parfums de Marly, so it wasn't no point, but still I had to get it. Okay, just in case you guys are wondering how Vanilla Dunes stacks up against this one in comparison, they basically share the same notes, except this one carries the note of amber in it. This one is a little bit more of the dry, to me on my skin, it's like dry, candy-like, and dusty, and a lot warmer than this one. This one is a little bit more spicier and warm spicy due to that cinnamon accord. This one is just a lot warmer, you know, and candy-like and dry and dusty on my skin. But the performance of this one compared to this one on my skin is better than this one. Even though this one is no pumpkin performance either, but this one is pretty solid above the two. This one and the original. You guys may disagree, but on my skin, this is what I'm getting. So when it comes to like seasons, obviously it's going to be a fall and wintertime oriented scent. Probably early spring when it's cooler. Summertime, it's a no-go. Don't even think about it. When it comes to the age groups though, I'm pretty sure, it doesn't have a lot of complexity for, it could be just for like, older crowds, like, middle age on up. I think this is a jack of all trades when it comes to like, age group. Any age can wear this, if you like it, wear it. It doesn't matter. But in my opinion, I'm pretty sure that all age can wear this fragrance. Yo, for $35 and some change, I mean, this is a solid banger. When it comes to the Parfums de Marly, this is very, very, very close with its own little twist. If you don't mind a little twist and it doesn't bother you, this would be a good pickup for you. So overall, what do I think about Liquid Brun by French Avenue? I absolutely enjoy this fragrance. This fragrance is fantastic. It is perfect for this time of year. It is definitely a great pickup. If you can see this, if you can find this at Burlington or whatever for the dolo price of $35 and some change, or less, if you're lucky, I will say go ahead and pick this up if you're into sweet, warm, balsamic scents. I'm glad to have this, even though I have like 2 other variations of the same DNA, but I don't care. I love this scent. So that's all that I have for Scent Talk TV, ladies and gentlemen. And as always, you know what to do. You gotta like, comment, share, and subscribe, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. And I will see you guys in the next video. Be safe out there and be blessed, and have a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.